Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have a trade to announce. A lot of things have been happening in the NHL world, as we know, between the draft and now the start of the NHL free agency. But now we have another trade, and it's regarding the New York Islanders. We all know they have 3 RFAs, key RFAs that will be crucial for them to re-sign for Lou Lamoriello this offseason, the likes of Matty Barzal, obviously, Ryan Pulock, and Devon Toews. And in trying to free up this cap space and knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to sign all these 3 RFAs, he deals Devon Toews in pretty much a salary dump. At least for his sake, he gets from the Colorado Avalanche a return of 2 second-round picks in 2021 and in 2022. So a solid move for both sides here. The Islanders, they figured that they wouldn't be able to resign Toews because he's currently an RFA with a cap of $700K. He's going to be commanding at least a couple mil, I would assume, going for maybe more so of a long-term deal. Toews is 26 years old. He's originally drafted back in 2014 by the Islanders in the 4th round. The 26-year-old left-handed defenseman is 6'1", 191 pounds, and this is a great move for the Avalanche too. They cough up 2 second-round picks, but Toews is on the come up. Really, this was his showing out party this year in the NHL. Had a very solid season for the Islanders, racking up 28 points in 68 games, including 6 goals and 22 assists, and he had 18 points last season in only 48 games, including 5 goals and 13 assists, and also split time with the AHL last year as well. In 24 games, had 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points. And Toews, so far in his young NHL career, has had 15 points in 30 playoff games, including 10 points, 2 goals, 8 assists in 22 playoff games for the Islanders this past season. So very strong numbers there. Toews, yes, he is 26 years of age, but he's a very young and upcoming two-way defenseman in the NHL. He really looked flashy at times in this year's playoffs. I can tell you personally, he's had some really almost highlight reel goals, if you will. He can take up the rush if you want into that offensive zone. He's a strong two-way game, and the Islanders have tough decisions that they still need to make. I assume that they're going to get rid of that Johnny Boychuk contract as well, because they're trying to free up more cap space. They need to make sure that they can keep Barzal and Pulock, at least most likely as of right now. So Lou Lamoriello, I expect more moves to happen with him, but Toews, a little bit surprising to see him dealt, but nonetheless, at least for the Islanders' sake, they get 2 second-round picks in the process. And now when you look at the Avs, they just trade Nikita Zadorov away. Zadorov away, I should say. And now you look at their defense, that's the replacement for Nikita right away. Because if you look on that left side, you have Toews, Samuel Girard, and Ryan Graves, who Ryan Graves just signed an extension with them, a cheap one nonetheless. And then you look at that right side, you have Ian Cole, who can play both the left and right side. You have Eric Johnson, the veteran, and then Cale Makar, obviously. And then you also have other defensemen on the come up. We'll see if Bowen Byram makes the team as soon as next year. I'm really not sure. But I love this move for the Avs. This is another move to help their defense, which really doesn't need a lot of help, but just really a replacement, I would assume, at this point in time for the likes of Nikita. They knew the cap crunch the Islanders were facing, so Joe Sakic jumped on it, got rid of just 2 second-round picks, where if there's any time to really give up picks and say maybe some prospects, now's the time to do it for the Avs, because they're up and coming. They're going to be fantastic for the next decade. There's no doubt in my mind. They're truly just getting started with such a great young core group, one of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining team in the NHL. Love this move for them, truly. Devon Toews, as I mentioned, a very solid two-way defenseman who has really just gotten a taste of the NHL over this past year and a half. So I'm curious to see how he will fare in the likes of Colorado. But I think his numbers will definitely go up if he gets more opportunity when it comes to his offensive game. Because on that left side, Samuel Girard can provide some offense, but outside that, Ryan Graves isn't known for his offense by any means. So you can expect Devon Toews to get some opportunities in that offense for sure. And who knows, he could possibly become a very solid 40-plus point defenseman going forward, given how great of an offense this Avalanche team already has, with the likes of Cale Makar, Bowen Byram on the way. Great things are going to happen for the Avs going forward. I love this deal for them, and it makes sense for the Islanders. I know that Islanders fans are probably a little upset in losing the likes of Devon Toews, but rest assured, this made sense. Lou Lamoriello is trying to do the best he can, and he's been rumored to really make some possible drastic moves. I've heard a lot of things regarding him connected to a winger in this free agent market, even the likes of Mike Hoffman and even Patrick Laine regarding those rumors. I know that they've steamed down a bit since the draft started, but nonetheless, Lou Lamoriello definitely has tricks up his sleeve, and he tries his best not to let anything get out there to the media until something is said and done. So it'll be very interesting to see what the Islanders do going forward for this offseason. I think Johnny Boychuk could get dealt anytime now as a salary dump. The Red Wings come to mind just for more defensive help and taking on that contract, as do the Ottawa Senators. So I expect a rebuild team, especially to maybe go for the likes of Boychuk, because this is definitely not a market where teams have a lot of cap space to deal with by any means. We all know this is unprecedented, but nonetheless, I like this deal a lot for both teams. Devon Toews, Islanders fans will miss him, but rest assured, as long as Lou can lock up, say, Barzal long term, and not Roman Polak, Ryan Polak out of this to help with this at least, and it's something that you have to do. And I don't see how Lou would have done this deal if he didn't know that those were two of the biggest factors, because those clearly were. They were 3 RFAs, and now he's down to 2, and he has plenty more moves to make this offseason. And if you look at the cap space for the Avalanche, they have right under 7 mil. They have 6.79 mil to be exact to work with. That's before the extension that's surely in place for the likes of Toews on a new contract. And then you look at the Islanders situation. The Owls have just under 9 mil, I believe. I think they're right around 8.9 mil in cap space they're working with. So they have a lot of moves they still need to do, but I'm very curious to see what Lou Lamoriello does going forward. But stay tuned, guys, because if any more trades happen or big signings happen in this offseason, surely today at least, I'll make sure to be covering it. So make sure to come back on the channel. But Islanders and Avs fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this trade? Islanders fans, are you upset? Are you kind of understanding about it? And Avs fans, are you happy about this? This is really a win-win. You give up 2 second-round picks, and you get a very young and upcoming defenseman in Devon Toews. I really think he has a lot of potential to really be a solid 40-plus point defenseman going forward for the Avalanche, given that offense especially. But thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, hit that like and subscribe button. As always, it would really mean a ton to help us get to 2K, guys, and subscribers. We're so close there. We just passed 1.6K. So thank you all so much, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, as always, and I will surely be back very, very soon.